Hey, what's up? It's been a long time since I've gotten back into this series. Today we're going to be doing a respawn thing, and I have some bugs that I found that I need to fix real quick before we do any of that stuff. So let me get started with that first. For this, I'm just going to destroy these things. So delete, because I don't want them to destroy the enemy before the enemy destroys me. But yeah, let's first go into the BP base thing. So I found that once I forgot to connect something. So going back into the base here, BP base. So when I was transferring everything over, this is no longer being called by get player character. So what I need to do is I need to get the actor of class, and let me just move all this stuff down. So this isn't doing anything. So when the enemy was getting destroyed, it wasn't moving on to the next wave because it wasn't calling the decrease enemy function. So let me delete this. Let me get actor of class. And that class is going to be on, what did I put it on, what's the name of that class? Spawner. Yeah, it's on the BP spawner. And that's what calls decrease enemy. Decrease enemy. And we want the message one for the BP spawner. So cool. And that should be good. So next thing, it's not really like, here, a bug, but I have a, oh, what the heck? So I must have done something earlier on where I messed this up, and all I need to do is go into my third person blueprints and go here where it says get actor forward vector. I need to change this to a single precision float. And I'm gonna make that 1,000. I don't know when I messed that up, but I messed it up at some point. Because I'm already getting the actor forward vector, so I'm already getting the X. So there's no reason for me to divvy it up that way. So there's just gonna be times 1,000 to the X. And I can remove this debug thing. I don't know when I messed with that. I don't know if it was during our time. So there's that. Then there's something that somebody mentioned about making it so that when you hit the play button, you don't have to do that additional click. So I can just go, well, I'm not in the right thing. I'm gonna close this. I can just go up here, and right after add to viewport, I can set the input mode to game only. And off of this, I can get the player controller. Get player controller. And then you'll see, once I do that, that when I hit play, it automatically starts in the game. And I can actually use that for other things as well. So if I actually go, you know, when I hit the build menu and I click this, you have to click again in order to now move this thing actually in the space. So if I wanted to make it so it automatically goes straight to it, let's see, what did I put that in? HUD, right. Which blueprint? Tower, And let me go to the graph. And for here, I think I'm just going to set up turret. Yeah, I want it, so it does this. After this, I'm just gonna do this. Set input mode, same thing. Game only, get player controller. And I can hit play. Build. And when I click it, it goes straight into it. It doesn't have that additional click that you have to do. And same thing with the menu and so on, so on. I can do it for the bunch of different things. It's whenever you like open a new HUD and stuff like that, it makes you do like an additional click. You can set it up like this and it will automatically go into it without having to do that additional click. Okay, so let's finally start the actual thing which we're covering. Actually, I do want to do this in the HUD. So I want to create the widget blueprint first. As you probably know already, I already did like a respawn thing, respawn video, not related to the tower defense thing. I'm going to do this one slightly different than that one. So let me grab the user widget. Blueprint underscore, okay. Respawn, and double click on that. So we have this. Why is this so big? Okay, let me dock this up here. And I don't really need this. Okay, so let me go in here. Last time in my other video, I had it so it automatically respawned after a certain amount of time limit. This one I might make it a button. I think that would be cooler. So after a certain amount of time, looking up image by the way, after a certain amount of time you can then click the button and then that will respawn you. But it won't respawn before that time is up. But you have to manually click the button. Alright, so I took an image, dragged it in the center. I'm going to anchor this to the center. And then I'm going to zero this out. 0.5, like always, to center the alignment. Right in the middle. Just going to do this. All right, so I'm going to create a button that's going to be pressed, and that's going to be our respawn thing. I don't know how big I want to make this. Kind of like that. And I can anchor this a little bit here. Not what I meant to do. That's X. And you go up. Putting it right there. Cool. So I have that, and I want to get a text. Now, if you click the text and then you drag it onto here, it'll automatically lock right in the center of the button here, which is pretty nice because that's exactly where we want it. So let me hit respawn. I'm going to scale it a little bit so it fits right under font and size here. And now we have a button. And then I want kind of a text that tells us what number we're at. I'm going to change this to the color to black so we can actually see it. And I'm going to scale this one up to, well, maybe I should make the number first, see what it looks like. I'm just going to put a 0 in here because I'm going to make the respawn in the single digits. Doesn't matter if you want in the double digits. You might want to center it a little bit better if you're going to do that for double digits, but for mine it's going to be single. I might scale up even a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. I'm leaving it like that. All right, cool. Awesome. So we have that. Next, we want to set the event for this. So this 0 isn't going to move or do anything yet. So if I go into the graph itself, I want to, let me first start, I'll start using the event tick. So I want to create a delay node off of this because delta time is not in seconds. It's based off of ticking. So we want to get a delay because off of this, it pulls seconds. And I believe it says in here, specified in seconds. So that'd be 0.2 of a second. So 1 is 1 second. And on completed, we want the seconds to go up. So let's see. I want to create a variable here. It's going to be our seconds. So respawn time. And I want this to be of type integer because I want it to tick 1 second at a time. And I am going to grab this off. I'm going to get it. And I am going to, if it is greater than 0, this respawn timer, if this is greater than 0, I'm going to pull off a branch here. If this is true, we want to set the new respawn time. And that respawn time, well, let me get the set first. Let me just do that. If that's true, we want to set the new respawn time. The respawn time is going to be the get respawn time minus, because I'm going to make the timer go down, minus, subtract, 1. So 1 per tick, because there's seconds. That's good, that's good. I think that's all I need to do for that. Oh, besides this, I need to set this to 5 when it's first initialized. And then it's going to go down from there. All right, so we have that. Yeah, I think that's all I need to do for that right now. So yeah, let me go back to the designer here. So for the 0, we want to increase this timer, which we did. So we want it now to hook up to this, which is super simple. All we have to do is click on this thing. And then on the text, we just want to bind this. We want to create a binding. And all we need to do, because we already set it up, is just drag this respawn timer here. And it automatically converts it to text from the integer we have. And that's it. That's it for the timer portion of this. So now we need to go back into our third person character. I believe is where we have everything. So let me go into my third person blueprint character. So now we're in here. So on death, we're going to need to call a respawn. So wherever we have that, which I believe it's on damage, take any damage, spawn emitter at location, destroy actor. Instead of this, I'm going to do this a little bit differently than I did in my other video. Sorry about that. Just started sneezing. All right. Probably cut that out. Anyway. So back to what I'm doing. What am I doing? Yeah, I want to set the actor. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to hide the actor. So I'm going to set actor enable collision. That is one of the things I'm going to need. I might as well do it now because I just see it. And the other one's like set actor. Oh my gosh, I'm hiding myself. Actor hidden in game. And I want this one checked and this one unchecked because we don't want to have collision. Next, we want to disable input. Disable inputs. For the player controller, we don't want them to be able to do anything with their player controller. Player controller. So we're going to disable the input for their player controller. Target is going to be self. And then we want to, I got to find the show the mouse cursor thing again. I believe it's just, okay, set show mouse cursor. And I want this to be checked because I want the mouse cursor to be on there so I can click on the respawn option. And then we just create the widget. Create widget. Respawn. And then we're going to add this to the viewport. And to viewport. Cool. Compile and save. And then we add to the viewport. So that's that. We have an option for them to click on it. Okay. So the only thing we haven't really filled in is that if they click on it, what happens? So now let's go back to the respawn, go to the designer, click on here, and there should be an on clicked option. On clicked, click that. And on this on clicked button 0, hit branch here. And the condition for this is going to be whether the respawn time is equal to 0. Get respawn time. Is it equal to 0? Because we don't want to be able to click respawn if it's greater. Because then that would defeat the purpose of having a respawn timer. So true, we want to set the actor's new location because it's actually invisible, it's not actually destroyed. I need to pull off of third person character, which I don't have. So I'm going to do a little event on initialized here. So event on initialized, that's when the thing is first initialized. Like you use the word in the definition. Great. Okay. When it first gets created. Okay. Cast to third person character. Get player character. And then off this, I'm just going to promote it to a variable so I can use it. And get this. So now I can get the set actor location off of this. Set actor location. And this new location, I am just going to, right click on it and promote to a variable. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab where I want this character to respawn. You can pick multiple respawn points and then you can just attach it to a selector and then you can put the random whatever, or you can click buttons that make it select which one. I'm just going to do this. Right click, copy that. I just want this location. And then in here, I'm just going to paste it. Paste location. Cool. I don't need to mess with any of this other stuff. So we need to now undo everything that we did earlier. But we need the third person character in order to do any of these things. So let me set actor enable collision. That's the first thing we did. And now we want to check it. Because we removed it earlier, we now need to check it so it does have collision. And then we need to set actor hidden in game. same thing. I could actually just drag from this to this. And now it's not hidden. We don't want to hide it. And then after that, what do? We cursor, right? We did something with the cursor. I need to get the player controller for that. Get player controller. So getting the player controller, we need to, oh man, I forgot the set hidden, no. Show, set show mouse cursor. And now it's going to be unchecked here. And then after that, we need to enable the input. Enable the input. Drag this into the player controller. And the target here is going to be another third-person character. And another thing we have to do is we need to get the variable for health, which I believe is on the character himself. I'm gonna get I need to get the max health so I can set the health. And this way, if you want to change the health, what your health is gonna be, you can now just pull from max health. So if it's changing, then you can easily not have to deal with all this by typing in numbers. Unclicked. And then I'm going to remove this thing from the parent. So I'm going to completely get rid of this widget from the parent, which is going to be the third-person character itself. And let's try this out. Oh my gosh, I forgot that I removed that initial click. Really changes things. So let me have it destroy me real quick. Oh, I should have tried beforehand. Let me click respawn now. Oh, I didn't have the enable input after respawning, whatever. I cannot click this button. When it reaches 0, I can now click it and I respawn. And I can still shoot them. And hopefully this causes damage. And it does. Cool. And that is it. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.